All right, team, so let's check out the new project charter. Regis and I, we talked about this a little bit today. And so basically, we're just gonna be looking at 4 phases initially. The first phase is all website projects that are in planning. The second phase is all website projects that are in progress. So once we actually have started the work on the project. The third phase is something that we haven't really standardized yet, but something that we need to do very quickly, and that's to make sure that whenever we are sort of done, then we need to make sure that somebody else is taking a look at the work. So just the concept of having another pair of eyes looking at it. So we want to have a dedicated phase for that, which is in review. And then finally, once a website is launched and it's publicly available, then it will stay here in the phase in market, which we will celebrate. So we want to make sure that we have lots of sticky notes here. At some point we'll take them down, but for right now, we're going to have these 4 phases. Now, in addition to that, you'll see that there's 3 rows, and the rows are to indicate just how quickly a project needs to go through. So we're going to have at the top, any projects from start to finish, it needs to launch within less than 2 weeks, so 14 days or 10 business days. I already started jotting down a few of the websites that Natalia has on her project tracker. Natalia, if you could sort these in tomorrow, that would be fantastic. And then but the second lane is all projects that are less than 2 months, so 60 days. And we can modify this over time if it makes sense to make it more like less than 3 months, but for right now, we're just gonna set this middle stream or the middle lane to be 60 days. And then finally, at the bottom, we have marathon. So essentially anything from start to finish that is gonna take longer than 60 days. And so that's where we would start slotting in those cards. And the reason for having kind of these 3 lanes is for us to know essentially any little sticky notes from projects that are at the bottom lane. It's going to take longer for them to progress through all these different phases, through these different columns. But if it's at the top, then it should be fairly quickly. We should be seeing changes every other day. And so my hope is that for all of us, we're just going to have a little bit more visibility into how much projects are in queue, how many are currently in planning, how many are in progress. This is going to help Regis on the sales side. It will help the leadership team on the resource utilization and planning side. So we'll give it a shot. And so for right now, Natalia, if you could take a stab at sorting in all the projects to one of the 12 quadrants, that'd be great. And then once we have that, Regis, if you could take a look at it and check to see if you agree with the timelines, if we have clients in the right lane. And Jason, you and Tina, if you guys could take a look afterwards, just to make sure that none of the projects have fallen through the cracks. So each project that has not been delivered yet should find itself then here on this wall. And so for right now, we're just gonna be focusing on new websites, but we can think about something similar for the SEO work and maybe even for support at some point. All right, talk to you later, bye.